Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky, wonderful world of ours, and welcome to the exciting installment of Memories of the Cherry Blossom Throne. Tonight, as you look into the sky above you, the moon itself appears to bleed crimson. It is as if the sky itself is an open wound, and the moon is the heart that beats at its center. Many people are gripped with fear and terror, but they do not know the significance of this omen. Blood moons have come before, and they have been known, some calling them harvest moons and some calling them other names, sometimes associating them with the gods, and other times associating them with demons. However, tonight there's a palpable sense that something is very wrong. There is an almost tangible feeling in the air as it is charged with what appears to be electricity. You feel it run down your arms, across your faces. I sense that tonight something is broken or that something is about to break. Following this feeling through the darkened footsteps, or following this feeling, your darkened footsteps take you one step at a time until above you, looming over you, some miles from Kyoto proper, you see a sight that is jagged and gaunt as it looks out over the horizon. A tall building, many stories high, Saiju Castle. Saiju Castle is vast, a great fortress designed to be one of the three gateways to Kyoto. As you walk down the Imperial Highway, you cannot but reach Saiju Castle. And here it is said that invaders will be stopped and broken. As you make your way down the hard-packed earthen roads towards the castle, however, you suddenly become aware of the sound of a flute being played. As sitting at a crossroads, you will notice this man with his flute to his lips as he plays a very soft and mournful tune, a very sad tune, a tune that speaks of loss and a tune that speaks of pain. In front of him, there is a small begging bowl. He has his eyes downcast as he continues to play. As you pass him one by one, we will begin the scene. So, Noritoshi, you will be the first to pass the monk. Do you simply pass him by?
That depends. Is this the same guy from that first scene? Or is it a different flute player?
It definitely looks like the same person. Then again, it's hard to tell. He's wearing a mask after all.
I'll stop in front of him. Pardon me, mister. I feel like I've seen you before.
He stops playing. The masked head looks up, and he has very piercing blue eyes that look into yours, and he says, I'm sure that Honourable Lord could have seen one such as me anywhere. If I have bothered the Honourable Lord, I do apologize.
No, I just wanted to compliment your flute playing. It was quite nice. And I'll toss him a couple of coins.
1,000 thank yous, great lord. What is often ended comes again. The lily blooms.
I will nod at him and head on my way.
All right. Chico, you are up next.
Right. Chico will walk up towards him, just kind of stop and listen for a minute. If he looks up at her or at him, just say, good to see you again.
It is good to be seen.
He'll toss him a coin and keep walking unless he has something else to say.
Memories, like the truest still pond. Time becomes the ripple.
yourself out of trouble.
He looks up casually and he says, I am far from trouble. However, it seems as though you are walking straight towards it.
So it seems.
That is the way of things, I suppose.
You always seem to be
Walk
here
well,
when I am.
Warden.
Though you always
walk.
seem to be here when I am.
More so, you
Walk
tend
on.
to cross many crossroads. Blessings
Lately.
be upon you, Warden.
You as well.
All right, Master Bow, or not quite Master Bow, Young Man Bow. There you go.
Val just kind of walking down the street, or road, path, whatever, with his horse, just kind of leading his horse along the way.
The horse will stop bolt still as he comes towards this man who's seated there, and his ears flick up. Obviously, he knows not to talk in front of strangers, but there's something about this man that's set him on edge.
Val just kind of strokes Ming's mane and just gonna kind of whisper in its ear, like, shh, 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 shh. What's going on?
The horse kind of stomps its foot against the ground, but it does so to create a grinding noise before he grits his teeth, and almost as if to make it sound like a whinny or to make it sound like a horse noise, he says very, very, with a very slight undertone, he says, unnatural. And that's all he says.
We'll approach cautiously then.
The monk simply sits there, playing his flute.
Val will continue walking towards him, still leading Ming. As he approaches, he'll say, evening, stranger. How are you tonight?
Question: Is Bao a member of the? Oh, I can never remember the name. The order in the Thingy-Mabob that are monks. I think it begins with Vajrapani.
It's the Kanagara that are that. That depends on if his mentor is or not.
You know what? I'm going to say they probably are.
Okay.
So he raises his eye. He raises his eyes and he lets the flute down from his lips and he says, "Konnichiwa, brother."
How do you find yourself tonight?
I find myself standing, literally and figuratively, at a crossroads, for I do not know which path will be ended up being trod this evening, and I am interested to see the results.
Well, I'm sure every path will be trod one way or another, not necessarily by the same person, though.
Feet often tell lies as well as telling truth, don't you agree?
He nods.
I sense that before this evening is out, you will find something that you were not expecting, clarity that you did not see. I hope that you are able to grasp what it is that you will come to know.
Well, I hope that you were able to find yourself well fed and in a comfortable place for the night. And he'll dig in his pack that's on the horse, thumb out a couple coins, and put them in his bowl.
Many blessings be upon you, brother.
And on you.
Okay, you will ride on towards the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we will have Anthony. You are up next.
Okay. Isiwara is walking along. A balaclava. Sorry, not a balaclava. a what the fuck's it called? Basically a piece of fabric covering his forehead, covering the top of his head, with a courtier's hat perched on top of that, held on with a small stylized length of strip of silken cord. And he stops at the side of this monk. Evening, Sensei. Why do I sense I've seen you before?
Then you learn to trust your eyes. Oftentimes, this is the first step to wisdom.
Indeed, but in the darkness, one is too often blinded.
One is only blind when one is led by ignorance. If one seeks clarity, if one seeks truth, one can never truly be blinded.
But he that stares into the darkness, if there is no light, will find nothing but deeper shadow.
Shadow is not the absence of light. Shadow is merely cast by a light itself.
I note that you are here tonight, and when last I saw you, a mortal was killed, and a good man too, I hear. There is strife in this land.
There is always strife.
Greater strife than one would wish.
What is the value of
here
peace?
foretelling?
What is the value of peace and what is the value of war? Ultimately, old men die in peacetime and young men die in wartime. There is always death. There is always rebirth. It is merely how the cycle chooses to dance.
But there is the difference in the weight of years.
Perhaps.
In autumn time, a blossom or a fruit falling is a pleasant thing. A harvest in autumn is to be loved and admired by the farmer. A crop that dies in its springtime is to be mourned and wept over.
Perhaps. However, when it is that one falls prematurely, when it is that the apple falls before its time, many will think if the apple fell in a way that will be remembered, it will be spoken of, it will be heralded, it will be lauded. The apple in falling may well have become immortal.
Your view of immortality is a strange one, Sensei. And with that, he'll hand over 5 10 yen coins.
They are called koku at this time.
Yes. Basically, handing over 5 koku.
He will say, a path walked, a treacherous lane. Truth found, if you dare to put one foot before the other.
Thank you, Sensei. And he'll bow deeply at the waist, then turn and walk on.
Okay. Next up is Lord Bato. Oh, Bato. He's good.
He'll be riding up on his horse, and as he seems to recognize the figure, he slows the horse and stops it, listening to the music.
The monk will straighten himself. He will then go to one knee before he presses his forehead to the ground in a proper kowtow.
He simply says, "Arise, hail and well met, a second time."
Tonight is an evening for second meetings, or third meetings. Many people see, many people know, certain people dream.
As always, have my thanks for your wise words. And he produces a koku and, with a clean shot, should be able to throw it into the begging bowl.
May I ask a favor of noble lord?
Feel free to speak.
May an old monk offer him his blessing?
Lord Bato will get off his horse, come closer to the stranger, and put his hands behind his back with a calm, relaxed expression. You may.
The monk reaches out his hand and he starts to mutter a mudra very, very softly under his breath. However, when he does so, when he withdraws his hand, he doesn't physically touch you. When he's withdrawing his hand, you feel a weight around your neck. And when you look down, you see the fact that you now have a small jade medallion hanging around your neck.
He'll spend a willpower not to be surprised by that, although there is the faintest hint of a widening of the eyes, as if in surprise. Why, thank you. And he gives him a short bow.
The talisman itself, the small jade, it has a dragon carved into one side and it has a tiger carved into the other.
Gotcha.
It appears to be made of bright green jade.
Lord Bato will venture a small smile, and unless the figure has more to say, he'll get back up on his horse and ride away.
Very good. And last but not least, we have Minamoto. Oh.
As usual, he's just walking, but he will walk. He has his daisho, and he will be fully armored because he doesn't know what he's walking into. Will make his way up, and he will stop and listen to the flute, as he has before. And he will eventually reach in and grab a handful of, we'll say about 5 koku, and put them in his bowl. It is good to see you again.
As I have said, an evening for second or third meetings.
Indeed it is. Your music still touches me to my soul. What brings you out to this particular location?
To see with eyes unclouded, as it is the world turns.
Understood. Well, I wish you well and good health.
May it be that your footsteps, noble lord, are forever found in shadow.
Thank you. And I'll do a bow and I will head up.
Okie dokie. So our first group of 3 will make it to the castle proper. The great doors yawn open. You will all arrive. First, Noritoshi, you will arrive first. Noritoshi, do you have any dots of auspex?
I do. I have 2.
You are immediately struck by the smell of blood. Very fresh, and quite a lot of it.
That's a little concerning, but I'm also quite. I feel a little bit peckish once I smell it.
Okay. Chico, you will arrive a few moments later, and you also have some auspex, don't you? I can't remember actually. Do they have auspex?
Nope, sure don't.
Oh no, they have obfuscate instead. I brain farted in my own bloodlines. That's how life works.
Nope.
And
But I do
Bao,
have lots of necromancy.
that's fair. And Bao, you will arrive a few moments later. But yes, needless to say, you all get the distinct impression that there's something very, very wrong here. However, for the point of view of the 2 kindred, once again, a man with a horse has just arrived. Neither of you know him.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hello. What brings you 2 out here tonight?
Apparently this is the place to be.
Apparently so.
From inside, you see two figures start to emerge from the castle gates. As I say, the gates are yawning wide open, except they're moving rather oddly. You see two men dressed in full samurai regalia. The only thing is that their steps are very jerky and very unnatural. It's
Do
as
they
if
look like?
Hmm?
Do they look like animated corpses?
I can neither confirm nor deny the fact that they may look like animated corpses.
If I know how to make animated corpses, do they look like animated corpses?
If you had Auspex, I could answer that question, but you don't.
What about somebody with 5 dots of bone path and 2 auspex?
There you go. Those are words. If you'd like to roll me your perception, I believe aura side is perception empathy. I always get it mixed up.
Yes.
Difficulty 8, or difficulty 8 minus your levels of Auspex, so difficulty 6.
All right. Let's see what we got.
For his part, Val's going to start muttering something in Mandarin, and I'm going to use that as a focus to try and pull up life sight.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah, no, those are totally two ordinary people. What are you talking about? Nothing's wrong here.
They just have the odd gate flaw. It's fine.
Yep.
Hey! Oh, I'll probably have to actually put the right number in. There we go.
I will now be paying attention to these newcomers from within the building, though.
Alright, Evan, this is a good start. My first air terror roll of the game, and I botched.
I mean, take a point of paradox.
Yep.
Hooray!
I did it.
For the record, as they walk forward, they both put their hands to their daisho, and then they go into a very jerking bow movement, bowing their heads very deeply, like going the full 90 degrees. And you start to see blood just wash out from the neck and face area of the armor onto the ground as they do so. It's now a fair assumption that they're dead.
Yikes.
It's probably something I should have asked ahead of time, but is my dangerous sense going off?
Oh, no, actually not currently.
Okay.
Well, that's not an ordinary greeting, is it?
Yeah,
I
that doesn't
seem
usually happen.
unusually unconcerned by this.
Val's just kind of reaching onto his horse, pulling his sword off of his horse, and like strapping it to his belt.
Yeah, I'd
Not
say
me.
that's a wise idea.
Both of them open their mouth to speak. You can hear the kind of the as they do so. But they speak in perfect unison in a voice that sounds like it is being spoken through like a wind through the trees, or a wet gurgling of water coming up from a spring, as they say in perfect unison, "The master welcomes you to his home."
Nice touch.
Should we accept the invitation? Should we go in?
I mean, I guess we're already here.
Yes.
So does this look like, does this look like Shambling Horde? Is this how they were made, or does this look like something else?
Shambling Horde can't talk
Okay.
unless they were being ridden by spirits.
That's fair. Can I do like an occult roll to see if I know what this is, or why this is happening, or what their deal is?
Yeah, you can. Anyone can make me an intelligence occult roll.
Even me?
Even you.
Oh, well, I don't have a cult, so
I'll have you know that's where the money went for my character. 6 and 11 dice.
Difficulty 6 or 7?
6.
God damn it.
I have 3 successes.
Four successes.
All right. This is an interesting mixture because it's a mixture of a perception check and an occult check. You know how I said that the blood spilled from the orifices of their face, of their helmets when they bowed?
Yeah.
Mhm.
As you look at it under the flickering candlelight, you notice something very unnerving. The blood, because it is blood, Narutoshi, you are sure that it's blood. It smells like blood. Is jet black.
Ugh.
So something awful has happened and has basically altered the physical semblance of Vitae in these people, or corrupted it, perhaps. It's no bueno.
Nope.
I am suspicious to a pretty high degree at this point, so I think I'd like to attempt a Shroud Sight roll.
Okay.
That doesn't sound good, but I'm still doing it.
It's fine.
Perfectly fine.
Everything is fine.
It's about to be a real short game.
Well, it was nice knowing this character. Okay, I can see into the Shadowlands.
Okay. What happens is, you look into the Shadowlands. Do you have fortitude? You should do.
Yeah, I have 2.
Okay. You are going to take 2 levels of aggravated damage.
Dear
Which you
God.
And we'll turn it off.
No, but I have to describe to you what you see.
Yeah.
Okay. What you perceive is the following. There is a deep rent in the gauntlet between the Shadowlands and the real world that is bleeding over. Essentially, something has torn its way physically through the shroud. The shroud itself is a bloody, broken mess that is spewing out all kinds of nether energies into this place. And essentially, when you looked across, you've got a full blast of the nether energies that are ripping across the penumbra.
First of all, ow. Do I
Automatically
just
soak
roll,
both levels.
fortitude to soak it?
You could spend a point of blood to automatically soak it if you'd like.
I'll do that. It's ag.
Yep. Your supernatural fortitude means that you are. It hurt a lot, but you did not take any damage.
Ow. So I'll turn to my Gaki associate and say, word of warning, I would not look into the shroud at this point.
Noted. What's going on in there?
So you know how it normally separates the dead from the living? It's not. There's like a big rip in the shroud, and a lot of, I can only describe it as negative energy is coming across and spilling into our world.
Great.
Seems like something we should try to do something about.
Okay.
That's just my intuition. Then I remember that there's somebody I don't know here, and I don't even know if he's a Canite or not.
He is, while that conversation was going on, he is whispering to his horse. And then my horse has contacts 5.
I'm
Damn,
sorry,
I
can you
just-
run that by me again?
He has
Yep.
contacts 5 in other spirit horses specifically.
Oh, no.
I'm going to politely ask my horse to send a message with some of his contacts to my mentor saying, hey, I found this thing. I'm going to try and take care of it. If I don't show up tonight, here is where it's at. So on and so forth.
All right. Roll me the level of contact. So roll me 5 dice. Difficulty 6.
Okay. Two successes.
For those of you who are watching, the horse moves its head back and it lets out a long neighing whinny to the sky. You guys feel something fundamentally shift, or else you feel a wave of supernatural energy wash over you to the point you know that something just happened, but you've got no fucking idea what it was.
Seems to be the night for that.
Was that your doing? And obviously looking at the dude.
His, technically, but yes.
Yeah, I really don't have time to explain the complicated interdimensional cosmic spectrum physical interim of reality to the likes of you, unfortunately. The horse will say. Imperfect
The horse
Japanese.
will say?
The horse
What
will say.
is
Imperfect
going
Japanese.
on?
I'll turn.
Also, is the
to-
horse scared of me?
Not really.
Also weird.
I turn to my fellow K-Knight. Yeah, I don't really think the masquerade applies to this guy.
I mean, yeah, that's okay. So, hole in the spirit world, talking horse. Anyone else have any announcements they'd like to make?
I would like to know your opinion on vegetable dumplings.
I mean, it's been a while.
I
sense
used to
that
like
they-
them a couple
I
hundred
sense
years
that
ago.
I sense that they do not possess vegetable dumplings, thus they are nothing to me.
Fair enough. I'm sorry, I've been very rude. I should introduce myself. My name is Bao Jiang. This is my horse, D-Mei. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And he'll do like a small bow to the two of them.
You call me Chico. Chico will bow. Also, Chico's completely covered, like wearing a giant hat, and like hands are all wrapped up in bandages, so there's no skin exposed.
I am Noritoshi Daisuke. It is good to meet you, I hope, and I hope that we can maintain a sort of camaraderie after this obviously eventful night.
Hopefully so. Do you two
Alright.
plan on solving this? Oh, just gesture at the castle.
I think it would be best to do so.
We'll try at least.
I am not very experienced in dead things, but I'm good with a blade, and I can attempt to hold anything off of you that might try to disrupt whatever you do.
Fortunately, dead things are kind of our specialty. So,
I've never seen anything like this before, though.
yeah, this is a new one.
Oh, good. So we're all walking in completely blindsided. Fantastic.
All right, so as you guys make your way in, I will switch to the other group. Boop, 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 boop. The three of you will once again come upon the castle at your own time. You will see it extending up before you like a great beast that is clawed and hunched upon a mountain. And you will also become imminently aware. Do any of you here gathered have all specs? I think Anthony does. I don't know if the other two do.
1 dot in all specs.
Auspex 2.
No.
Okay, cool. If you have Auspex 1, you immediately are hit by the smell of blood. It is like, that's a smell.
Does it smell like it's gone bad, or does it smell like nice fresh blood?
It smells like fresh blood. However, you become immediately aware, because they are now standing there, of the two samurai figures still dressed in their armor, the blood having been splattered down the front of it, obscuring their moms and pooling in the ground around them. And you also become immediately aware of the fact that it's black.
Right. Evan, I'm more resizing
Okay.
because at the moment I'm thinking they're vampires
Mhm.
with absolutely no sense of discretion.
That's entirely fine.
So that's just. Lee.
By the way, Tiger, because I can't remember, you took what's her name as your mentor, didn't you? Or did you actually take a custom one? I can't recall. And I forgot the Tiger's not in the thing anymore, so I have to actually add him briefly to get the answer to my question. Tiger, who did you have as your mentor?
The Bodhisattva.
Okay, cool. This is about to get that level of interesting.
Huzzah!
No successes, unfortunately. So I don't see any auras. I
Okay.
didn't botch, but I didn't get any successes.
Yeah, no, from your guys' perspective, as the three of you stand there are just men covered in blood standing there, kind of swaying ever so slightly with the breeze.
Yeah, I'm going to assume they're vampires at this point. And given that they are in body armor, I take it.
They are.
Right.
Yeah, one success on the Auspex roll on the two bloody gentlemen on the standing and swaying there.
Oh, they are most assuredly dead. They are most assuredly corpses. They're not vampires. They are just legitimate corpses.
Okay, not planning to attack yet, but I would like to declare that Lord Batter will be producing his pistol and in all calm put a match in it and start lighting it and gently blowing on it.
While you're puffing away, I'm just going to be walking over.
Yeah, Ichiro is going to continue walking up. He'll give them both a bow.
Yep, same here. Bowing deeply.
It's rather interesting because as you walk towards them, they are both immolated in pure white flame. Both of you take a Rorschach test, difficulty 7.
Buggery.
That is courage, right?
Yep, you can spend a willpower if you just want to automatically pass it, if you don't want to run away.
Yeah, I would prefer I'll spend a willpower.
You still have to make the roll technically, but yeah, you can just auto pass.
Diff 7, you said.
Diff 7, I did say.
Please don't let me frenzy. Please don't let me frenzy. Thank God
You didn't frenzy?
frenzy.
You barely hold it together.
Yep. I spent so long in my house full of non-Rorschach fire.
Yay.
Lord Bato, you only have to roll it at difficulty 5 because you are much physically further away from the fire. Or Bato's just like, what the fuck is life?
4 successes, thanks to the distance.
From behind Bato, you will see this woman very, very calmly making her way up the path. The vague remnants of white flame flicking through her fingers before she flicks it away.
Looks around, gives her a nod. That was a rather impressive display.
For the record, Anthony, you think she's just killed 2 kindred?
Does she appear to be alive or dead?
Do you want to Auracite her?
Yes, I will try to Auracite her.
Okay, it is difficulty 8, perception empathy, difficulty 8 minus your specs rating.
Okay, give me a second.
Because somebody had to be like, hey, super mom, come and make sure, I'm going to play that.
3 successes.
She is definitely alive. She also has She also has interesting colors in her aura. It appears to be very, very. What are mages again? It's sparkles. She has sparkles in her aura.
Okay, can I make a intelligence occult roll to know that represents wizards?
Sure. Difficulty 8.
Okie dokie. One success.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. That represents magical beings of some kind.
Okay, my thought process at the moment is she killed them, but she hasn't killed me, which means she either doesn't know I'm a kindred or isn't killing kindred indiscriminately. Either way, my best response is to not respond. So I will stay there, being stoic for the moment.
All right. So, she will not say a word unless you guys talk to her. She will simply step by you and walk into the courtyard.
All right, we'll let her walk into the courtyard now. We'll follow behind her.
By the way, Lord Bato and Isiwara. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the names properly. You will notice, by the way, she didn't just burn the corpses. She also immolated the blood on the ground. In case that becomes important. Without saying a word, she walks into the center of the courtyard and she extends her hand to the left and to the right. And she appears to be grasping something with her hands, but you can't really see it. And she then appears to be struggling as if holding something.
All right.
Does anyone here have necromancy?
No.
I have medium, but not necromancy.
Yes, I have necromancy.
All right, I'm just going to add Chico and Noritoshi back for a brief second. So Noritoshi and Chico, you guys are basically walking into the main room of the castle proper. As you do so, the great double doors of the castle close behind you with a smooth swooshing motion. You are stood in a great hall-like area. However, I'm not going to get into that in too much detail. A few moments later, both of you lurch to the side. Literally, you physically are thrown about 5 feet to the side as tectonic energies rip through your physical bodies. You feel this place is so connected to the Shadowlands that it would take nearly nothing for you to do any act here. I will tell you this right now. All necromancy that you wish to cast is at an additional -3 difficulty here because of its connection to the shroud. However, something is desperately attempting to close the gap in the shroud and is doing so with immense power.
Can I tell where that's coming from?
You have medium, don't you?
I do.
So for medium, for both people who do not wish to activate Shroud Sight, because that goes sadly wrong, what you will see is what almost looks to be you look up and out through a window, and you will see a woman standing in the center of the courtyard. However, from the perspective of medium, in the Shadowlands and the Land of the Dead, she looks like a gigantic jade green dragon that is coiled around the rip in the Shadowlands, the rip in the veil, or the rip in the gauntlet of the veil, and she is desperately using the coils of her draconic form to attempt to crush it closed, but is only managing to hold it still, so it does not get larger.
Do I know of any way I could help with this, with occult and 3 different necromancy paths? Can I roll?
Yes, I will tell you both for free. Something is feeding this thing. Something caused this red. Something is feeding from the energy the Shadowlands is pulsing out. If you were to eliminate or deal with the thing that is feeding from the energy, it is more than likely that this force would be able to close the gateway.
Thank you.
Any
Cool.
ideas on what that might be or where it might be?
You sense that as you see the rhythmic and the pulsing energies of death, entropy, and the end pulsing through the Shadowlands, you become immediately aware that it's being drawn to somewhere in the castle proper. It is being sucked in a general direction.
Does this
Almost
look similar
something-
to that assassin guy who was feeding off of corpses or like spirits?
Very similar,
Oh, crap.
but on a much larger scale.
Great.
Oh, his master. Great.
Very calmly, the woman outside for my group 2, essentially, because there's group 1 is going to be Narutoshi, Chico, and Bao. Group 2 is going to be Isawara, is going to be Bato, and is going to be Miyamoto. She will simply say, without looking up from her work, "The shrine in the castle. Ring its bell 3 times. Go and do this now."
As you wish,
She-
milady.
She's very calm, Anthony, but Anthony, you're a wizard. Or
Yep.
what your kind would understand as a wizard. Holy mother shitballs Jesus, that's tectonic amounts of energy. Like she is playing with such huge amounts of energy that it's almost mind-boggling to you.
Okay, in that case, I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm going to take a chance on this. How much blood can I spend to turn at this generation? I think
What's generation?
7th.
4.
4. Right. Yeah, I can't. Okay. Okay, just gonna run.
Yeah, I will, as you wish, my lady, give her a bow, and I start heading off now that I know what she is and is very scared.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying any of that or bowing. I'm just going, okay, fuck, run.
Yeah,
Cool.
Bato will just nod and spur his horse into a full gallop.
Bato, as you do so, the medallion around your neck will start to glow. It starts to, only you are aware of this, only you can see the faint light, but it makes you feel calm and reassured.
Excellent.
For the purposes of this, for the rest of the session, you are mechanically immune to all effects that would involve frenzy.
Okay, understood.
All right, I'm going to put on my first team, and then I'm going to step out for a few moments to get a drink. So I'll be back in a moment. A team. The one thing I will say is, Bao, you hear in your head a very kind of a sigh. You hear a sigh that is like "I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed" sigh.
Bao has that grin of like a small child who's been caught doing something that he shouldn't be doing and is trying desperately to like make everybody think that he's good, that he's not worried about anything, but you can see it in his eyes.
However, the voice in his head will say one word that will bring Bao to abject terror, the cold sweat, that moment of dread as she says the word Nifandi.
And Bao's game face is on. His sword is also drawn.
Excellent. I'll be back in 2 moments. By all means, if you wish to explain to the class what might or might not be happening, that's also fine.
He will
There's something-
turn to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just say there's something in the castle that's feeding on spirit energy and basically ripping the spirit world into this one. She's trying to stop it, but we need to stop whatever it is that's doing it.
Yes, the one trying to stop it is my master. And she has told me the threat that we are up against, and we will need to be prepared. We're going to see a lot of dangerous doesn't quite do it justice.
The one that tried to kill the Chancellor some weeks ago was doing something similar, but not on this scale.
I don't honestly know much about that.
It was an attack a few weeks ago. It was framed as something political, but there was more to it than that.
Gotcha. The person responsible for whatever is happening here is a member of a group that is devoted to making sure that this world descends into chaos, however many hells there are, or we believe in, and so on and so forth. So stopping them would be a good idea.
Yes, I quite like this world intact.
Agreed.
Also agreed. Shall we continue on then?
I think we shall. You'll notice that I don't seem to be drawing my sword.
Whatever it is, I don't know if a sword's going to do much against it. Guess we'll see.
I feel better with mine at the ready than I do without.
Yeah, same. Been a while.
And I'm back. As you race through the outer galleries of the palace, it becomes imminently aware that there is no one living here. You see all around you blood stains turning black. However, strangely enough, you don't see any bodies, save for the two at the door. As you turn a corner, however, you will see a young woman standing there in the hallway. She has a hood up over her head and like a shawl, and in her hands there is a bundle of swaddling cloth that looks as if it contains a baby, and she's rocking the child back and forth, saying, cooing and basically singing it what appears to be a very broken lullaby.
On our way through, may I collect a sample of the black blood?
Do you touch the black blood?
Well, fuck, I guess I do.
Okay.
I'm not going to drink it. I'm just going to, like, try to take a sample to research on later.
That's fine. How are you transporting it?
Probably with a small vial or whatever the equivalent would be.
Okay. Roll me a willpower check.
Let's see how many I got. What difficulty?
Let's say difficulty 7.
Wow, 5 successes.
Okay. You become imminently aware that as you touch the blood, something brushes against your mind, and you start to hear it shrieking, screaming, almost like a birth scream or a death scream. But you manage to ward it away. You do not want to contemplate what would have happened if it had gotten into your mind.
Wow, okay, so don't touch that blood. Realize that's probably obvious, but the needs of science come before my own needs.
That is like the most Cappadocian thing I've ever heard anybody say. GG.
I feel like you should stop touching things,
Yeah, that might be why. But
both physically
science.
and mentally.
But science.
I mean, whatever. So this woman, does she look alive? Question mark.
It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe. She could be alive. You don't know.
I'm gonna try life side again, but this time I'll spend the willpower.
Because you know what's no bueno? Failing. It's no bueno.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have 2 successes with the willpower.
Hey! That woman does not exist under life sight.
She's not living.
That's about what I thought. I totally
Yeah.
doubt that we'll find anyone living in here.
I'm guessing whatever she's holding isn't living either.
No, Tiger, the child is alive.
Oh god.
No, the child is alive.
I'm sorry, what?
The child is alive. And he starts to very slowly approach the woman. He does not have his sword at the ready. He'll actually put it back in his sheath.
She doesn't appear to notice you as she continues to sing to the child. Seke no so seke o, hayo, hayo. Seke o no kekeru, ayo, ayo.
Does the kid seem to be reacting to it at all? Or
The child appears to be asleep.
okay.
Are we getting any sort of impression of like the general direction of the funneling of energy here?
It is going deeper into the estate, but it's very hard to pick up on exactly.
Okay, but it's a safe assumption that the kid is not the thing eating the energy.
No, however, why is there a child here? What's the purpose of it? Why would they keep the child alive? For the record, that is a picture of what you're saying.
Great.
Yeah, the living child is more concerning than the dead woman.
I'm guessing she's gonna be mad if you take it.
I'm not touching that child.
Would anyone like to roll me an intelligence occult roll at this moment?
Sure would.
I always want to roll that.
It's my 13 dice pool. Look at my penis. Look at it.
11, thank you very much.
By the way, Tiger, next session you're buying some occult, or you're a bad mage.
I think it's already been established.
Standard?
I'm a bad man.
Standard difficulty?
Yes.
I have esoteric.
damn it.
Oh yeah, no, you could definitely use Esoterica for this one, yeah.
Oh, lit.
4 successes.
Esoterica will give you a slightly different answer, though.
That's fine.
All right, so who has what successes?
Oh wait, no, I just fucked up. Hold on.
I've got 4.
I got 1 success. I fucked up, but I got 1 success.
How'd you
I've
fucking-
got.
I forgot. I just put equal. I didn't put more than or equal to. I just put equal to. But I got 1 success.
I also got 1 success.
All right then, kiddies. So for those of you who got 1 success, it is no coincidence that the young child, the baby, is being kept alive. Why would they do it in a situation where so many have been killed? For the Esoterica, this seems oddly like certain stories, doesn't it? You know, stories. And for the 4 successes, well, something has ripped its way through the gauntlet. That does not necessarily mean that the thing that ripped itself through the gauntlet has a physical form. And children are a much easier to control vessel.
Now, I'm not necessarily recommending any course of action here, but my theory is that whatever is feeding off this energy needs some kind of a vessel for a physical form, and might find it easier to take control of a child than an adult.
Makes sense.
Perhaps this woman is shielding the child from such possession?
Or she's supposed to keep it safe until it's ready for such possession.
Yeah, that could go either way. Either way, we probably shouldn't mess with it right now. We would need more information first. Does the woman seem to take any notice of us whatsoever?
None whatsoever. Unless you physically interact with her.
I'll probably try talking to her, like just generically greeting her, and see if that draws her attention at all. But I'm not going to touch her.
Not at all. She doesn't physically look away or change what she's doing.
I have learned my lesson about touching things this session.
Huzzah! Lessons have been
Yeah, it
learned.
was having watched him fuck up twice, I don't think I'm gonna bother trying to talk to her.
I would suggest we go deeper for now into the castle and remember where this is in case we need to come back.
Yeah, I don't want to endanger the kid any.
Yep.
I mean,
let's go.
wow. You kind of like, you kind of feel like, I should save that kid.
He's gonna try one thing before they go. He'll say, "Good evening, lady. Is this your castle, or do you simply serve the one who owns this castle?"
She doesn't answer you at all. She continues to sing.
Tiger knows not to mess with her, but Val doesn't. He will get mildly annoyed at being completely ignored and walk up and say, "I'm talking to you."
Oh, dude, please stop.
Then bop her on the forehead.
Please stop.
Okay. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
As you bop her on the forehead, the head snaps back, and she grips the child very close to her chest to the point that the child starts to cry, and she screams really loudly as knives and other detritus, glass, broken bits and shards appear in her long hair and start to slice at you.
Oh boy.
However, before we do that, we're going to go to the B team. Hey, B team.
Hello.
A B roll.
So you guys have raced now through the courtyard of the castle, it looming over you towards the shrine that is kept nearby. It would have more than likely have been a pleasant place. Set against the eastern wall, it would have gotten the best sun during the day. It is a beautifully erected building with two large carved dragons outside it to ward away evil. It's rather interesting, actually, because as you step onto the threshold of this building, all of the pressure and the dark feeling, the foreboding that had dogged you up until this point simply fades away as you cross the threshold into the temple proper.
Who is the shrine dedicated to, if anyone?
Amaterasu.
Okay, in that case, time to take a risk. Evan, with each step, loud clap. So step, loud clap. Step, loud clap. And then calling out, Lady Amaterasu, hear my plea and prayer. Visit your wrath upon this place and those who defile it. As I ring this bell, hear this prayer, carry it up into heaven, and do what is your duty. I stand by your supplicant and await your judgment and gift. And then ring, 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 ring.
All right, so the bell itself is a huge affair. It is made of silver and iron. It sits high in a bell tower that overlooks you all. There is only one of you here who can comfortably reach it without the need to climb.
I just wanted to say, as you describe it, I would like to attempt. Lord Bato would like to attempt the following: spending a willpower, using the remaining momentum of the horse to jump off the horse, spread his wings, and try basically to fly straight to the bell.
All right, would you please make me a strength athletics check, please?
On it.
This is literally to just get the needed oomph to launch yourself up, basically. Actually, while we do this, Anthony, you're on the path of community, aren't you?
Yep, that's why he's taking these sorts of risks.
How high on the path of community are you?
It's either a 5 or a 6. I'm going to double check. It is a 5.
Okay.
One success, plus the willpower that I'd spent before.
That's all you need. Okay. So you launch yourself into the air. There's a great moment as the wings rip through the silk of the kimono and you ascend upwards. Lord Bato comes to land rather neatly, skidding only ever so slightly on the raised dais upon which the bell is set high above the temple.
And as far as I understand, that is my action done.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, would you like to ring the bell?
I would like to attempt that, yes.
All right, so you pick up the great hammer that lays next to the bell. For this is how you strike these old bells. You strike it once, you strike it twice, and then you raise it above your head in order to strike a third time. And as you do, there is an explosion of light from the hammer of the bell that emanates outwards, almost blinding all of you here. This light, however, is beautiful, radiant, and oh, sweet Jesus, does it burn.
Is it sunlight, Evan?
It is essentially treated as sunlight.
I did say I was going to await her judgment.
You did, you know. I was paying attention to that.
Yes, to be fair, I invoked the sun goddess to try and purify this place. This is better be good for my time.
All of you, with the exception of Lord Bato, will take 3 levels of aggravated damage, difficulty 9 to soak.
Can't
Lord
soak.
Bato, you're filled. The amulet around your neck now glows even brighter and channels the light of the sun that blazes in the hammer down into it for a brief moment, seeming to energize something within the amulet. I'm just waiting for people to roll their down to see if they're going to. Anthony, you can't soak because you don't have fortitude. However,
I can't soak either.
Do you not have fortitude?
No.
Okay. Oh, well, that's 3 levels of ag damage for each. Oof. Bato, what happens is the light from your amulet then mingles with the light of the hammer. As you raise it up above your head, there is a radiant spark, a glow that ignites from the tip of the hammer until it ascends upwards towards the moon, striking the bloodied moon with radiance from the hammer itself, causing the moon causing the crimson moon to sputter for a brief few moments before it returns to its ordinary color of white.
That seems like a good thing.
Yeah. I would say with a few blinks of absolute shock at what has happened, he, if need be, will spend another willpower and smash the third and last beat onto the bell.
All right, you don't need to spend a willpower. As the third time the bell is struck, the hammer itself turns to dust in your hands, and all around you there is an unearthly cacophony. As you see outside, the woman finally bring her hands together in a motion. For those of you inside, you feel the powers of the shadow suddenly weaken noticeably. The woman who was just about to engage you drops the child and brings her hands to her eyes that are now pulsing and bleeding. Would somebody like to make a Dex Athletics check to catch the child before it hits the ground?
Yeah, I will.
Oh, sorry, you're not in there. These are the people inside. I do apologize. One moment.
Oh.
Doop, doop. Doop, 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 doop. There you go. Who would like to make a Dex Athletics check to catch the child?
I'll try.
Only one of you can do it, so you might want to pick the person who's got the best pool.
I got 7.
Don't think that'll be me.
Bao,
Anybody got
what's
better
your-
than 7?
Bao, what's your Dex Athletics? Tiger! Poke, poke. All right, Chico, roll your 7.
Okay.
Wow, it's almost like in all of the games you're adopting small children.
It's like I like children.
I mean, you
What standard difficulty?
No, it's going to be difficulty 8 because it's very sudden.
Ah, crap. Okay.
You can spend willpower. It's your friend.
I got 1 success. Should I spend a willpower?
You can't spend it after the fact.
Oh.
I'm going to say that you managed to grab the child, but in the process, you were covered in the weird black Icarus blood that the woman is crying from her eyes. Roll me a willpower check.
Great.
Difficulty 7.
Okay. Three successes.
Yes, you are able to ward away the negative impulses that flare through you as you clutch the child to you. The child is crying now.
Fault.
Whilst it is distracted and in a lot of pain, would anyone like to attempt to strike down the spirit?
I'm going to try to get as far away from it with the kid as possible at the moment.
When Bao touched it, did it seem like the physical touch actually, like...
Yes, he physically touched it.
I guess I'll take out my sword and see what it does at that point.
All right, roll me your dexterity plus your melee.
To draw my sword?
No, to hit it.
I said I'm just gonna kind of see what it does at that point, and if it still acts hostile, then yeah.
It's screaming in agony.
I will have my sword at the ready.
Okay. In that case, we're going to go back outside to B team. All right. So the light around you blazes brightly before it dies. You all feel a unique and innate sense that something has touched you this evening from a different place. How many of you are on the path of humanity or one of the variants thereof? I know Anthony is.
Path of Humanity, 7th dot.
Holy crap. Okay, you're actually a really nice person. All of you will receive the following. You will receive an epiphany. Do you know what an epiphany is, or do I have to explain it to you?
Please explain.
An epiphany allows you to buy up your road dot. So you essentially can get another level of your road, but also it lets you buy up your road dot for half of the XP cost.
Yay.
That is assuming you're on the path of one of the paths of Via Humanitas.
Holy shit.
And if it is something that interests you, it is also the first step on the road to true faith.
Also, yay.
Tempt me, I say.
But you very
Evan,
much
just to let you know, I'm gonna have to disappear. I'm struggling to stay awake right now. So
okay. That means I can merge the two groups together. Haha.
yes, and for reference, after the burning light and the extreme pain, unless something is actively going to stop him, he's going to basically yell, "Amaterasu be praised," and then activate the GTFO button.
I see. You're gonna do the thing. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that way he's also not around to need to be looked after.
No worries. You will poof back to your house.
Yep. Okie dokie. Good luck, everyone. Try not to be
Make
killed.
sure, Anthony, before you go to bed, make sure to make a note in your character sheet that you got the epiphany and whatever else have you.
Right, yeah.
Cool. All right, sleep on.
Right.
Hey, look, it's all the Wunderkinder together again.
Hooray.
Yay.
Huzzah.
Hang on, Tiger, do you exist? You're being quiet.
He said he had to go get his wife from work.
Oh, where do you say that? I am not paying any. Oh, is that in the side
In the
chat that I
private
can't
chat.
see?
Yeah.
Dang it. I love how I can't see that. It's really funny to me.
I like that you're the only one that can say it.
I know, right?
So I got this baby.
Yes, you have the little one. I'm just going to do that wonderful thing called GM hand wavium.
Yep.
Which basically means that the party will reassemble in the entrance hall.
Wait, did we
So-
scream? Did we kill screaming corpse lady?
Oh yeah, if you hit her, she will die.
Okay.
So all of you stand in front of a large double door. The double doorway, however, is closed, and it is still radiating with the dark energy. For the record, for those of you who are tuned to the underworld, to the Shadowlands, etc., the negative energies that were ripping through this place have weakened, but are still present.
Well, that seems like a good sign, I hope.
If you guys would like to explain what you did outside, you are more than welcome to do so.
Lord Bato rang the bell 3 times, as was told to us by the woman in the courtyard.
I did hear the bell, probably.
Oh yeah, you did. It was almost supernaturally loud.
I think all of Japan heard the bell.
Well, whatever it did, it seemed to work, at least immediately.
Lord Bato is silent, but he's just regularly blinking as, how should I say, as if he was trying to wake himself up from something. He doesn't seem quite there.
For the record, you guys will see something interesting happen. Lord Bato's katana draws itself from its saya, and it kind of hovers there in midair for a few moments. He's not holding it, it's just doing it.
Yeah, Bato is just looking at it and still regularly blinking, trying to take in what's happening, and
The
probably
event-
failing slightly.
The necklace around your neck rips itself free from the cord and impacts the blade just as it joins to its hilt. And you see the jade of the medallion burn into the katana at its where it connects to its handle.
Oh.
I would say instinctually, culturally, and from what he has heard of such things, Lord Butto just positively throws himself to the ground and prostrates himself, doing a kowtow in front of it because, yeah, this is a little too much for him, and he's got the. It's basically the I'm not worthy, I'm prostrating myself, please don't destroy me sort of thing.
Only Bato will see the following. A few moments later, you will hear a voice say very calmly, "Now is not the time to kneel. Now is the time to stand."
He'll get up shakily, straighten himself up.
You will see this individual standing holding the sword. Only you will see him.
Yeah. Bato is staring at a certain point in the courtyard, him seeing the fellow.
He holds out the sword and he says, "Now all you have to do is be worthy of it."
For the first time in a long time, he takes a deep breath, even though his undead lungs can't process the oxygen. And he slowly steps forward to grip the sword.
Good. Be the man that you must be. And the sword will simply fall into your hands.
He'll catch it and look at it, saying nothing.
All of you will see the sword, you will see the medallion connect to the sword, you will see the sword fall, and that is all you will see, and that is all you will hear.
Everything okay, Lord Bato?
I think that means you did a good job.
If everyone could please make me if everyone who was in the very first vampire scene, I think that was everyone here, can make me a perception. Yes, can make me a perception alertness check.
I feel like I know what this is.
Remember, for every level of Auspex you have, it lowers the difficulty by 1. Because Auspex is fun like that.
Four successes.
I'm curious, Terry, what do you think it is?
The sword from before. Since I know
Okay.
that it occasionally breaks apart and then reforms for people that are worthy of it.
I will tell you right now, it is not Butterfly Cutter,
Oh.
which is that sword. However, the medallion, now you look at it, now that it is placed where it is definitely a part of Butterfly Cutter.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
Mm. For those of you who remember the sword of Lord Nizen, it's not Nizen's sword, it's definitely Lord Bato's sword, but that is definitely a piece of Lord Nizen's sword.
So this monk is just casually holding on to a piece of that sword.
I mean, nobody knows that except Lord Bata.
Yeah. Butter raises the blade in front of his face, gives it a nod, and then will sheathe it, not saying anything.
For the record, I will do one thing, and this is kind of a nod for Jason, because I'm wondering if he remembers it. Before the monk disappears, you will hear him do one interesting thing that is a little bit out of character.
Mm-hmm.
He laughs, but he laughs in a very specific way. He laughs like this.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm wondering if that sparks a memory.
The fact that it's almost 3 in the morning at my end probably means that I'll have to think about it when I'm fully rested.
I'll tell
It
you.
sounds familiar.
I'll say it to you because there's nobody here who else would remember except maybe Tiger, but he's not there. There was a very specific NPC I used to play who laughed like that.
Oh, nice one.
But very good. So you stand before a large set of double doors that are closed. However, from inside you hear a beating of a drum start, a very slow kind of doom, 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 doom. Start to emerge. Those of you who are necromantically inclined, you start to feel an immense buildup of power from beyond the door.
I think what we're looking for, or perhaps part of it, is within these doors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Do the doors appear to be locked as far as we could tell, or barred in any way? Or are they just
No,
closed?
you could probably push them open.
So I've still got this baby.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. What are we going to do about that exactly?
I know a place that we could take it for safety after we're done here.
For the
Yeah,
record,
get that
as
right.
as you look down, you see the fact the child is dressed. The swaddling clothes are incredibly fine, and you see the fact the child, even its small garb that it wears, has a clan mon on it.
What do I have to roll to try and recognize the mon
Academic.
on it?
Three successes.
I'll wait till everyone rolls.
Sorry, what was the roll?
Intelligence academics.
Apologize, I missed that.
3 successes
worries.
as well.
Excellent.
Intelligence 4, Dex 2, so 6.
Five successes.
The child is more than likely the son of the lord of the castle, and therefore, if his father is indeed dead, the new lord of the Hosokawa clan.
I think that this is a child of the Hosokawa clan. At least the mon would give that away. Oh dear.
Well,
So
this
as
is
it looks like
interesting
everybody
turn of
in this
events.
castle is dead except for him.
He is the new lord by right. Yes.
Lord of an empty castle, it seems.
Well, this is one of the Hosokawa's castles. Bear in mind, the clan is much bigger than an individual castle.
Yes, this castle might be empty, but this child surely will have plenty of relatives in
And he'll be
some of their other residences. It is important that it gets back to its family.
I couldn't agree more.
All right, so do you push open the doors?
I should probably get this kid out of here.
You know,
When-
yes. May I suggest something? Yeah, he says to the lady with the child.
Yep.
Feel free to take my horse to get out of here quickly.
Does your horse want? I don't know how your horse feels about me, but okay.
His horse is
I-
a Google, his horse won't care.
I have trained the horse to not mind my condition. It should be fine.
Okay.
Mind you, I would like it back when you're done.
Yeah, what
He
am I gonna do
gently
with it?
smiles.
All right. Well, if that's the case. I'm gonna take this kid on the horse and GTFO.
Yes.
As you attempt to leave, you hear a hissing noise all around you, and the child itself disappears into a plume of black smoke.
Oh crap!
Well, that's a problem.
The smoke then recedes under the doorway in front of you.
All
I knew that
right.
was too easy. All right. Draw my sword. Okay, let's do this.
Draws his newly modified sword.
I will draw my sword as well.
We've figured out at this point that everybody with us is supernatural, pretty much, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm just going to spend the blood and go Cryptian Marauder for him.
You know that prompts a check from everybody, right?
It does?
Yeah.
Hold on, I was reading it. I must have missed that. Where does it say that? All right, well, poop.
I believe it's anyone who hasn't seen it before has to make a check.
What kind of check?
I can't actually recall off the top of my head.
I don't. Oh, it's saying gains all the effects of forward form. That might have been where I missed it. Damage inflicted. No. I don't see anything that says that.
It may be an old edition. Cool. If it doesn't say that,
Yeah.
he will take on a very Zemitzi death form. Hooray!
Yay.
Oh, good.
Hey, I don't get to do it very often. 6, 7, 8.
All right. So, who pushes open the door?
Doesn't seem like anyone wants to volunteer.
I'll go up and do it. I am big and strong. I can do it. It's going to still, whatever's going to hurt me, it's going to hurt me, but.
And my guy literally has his hands full. In the one hand, his sword. In the other one, a matchlock pistol. He's gently blowing on the match to keep it going.
As you see the door open in front of you, you become immediately aware of how cold it is in this room. Oh, Nelly, is it cold in this room? You see seated in the center of the room, surrounded by dozens upon dozens of corpses, a single entity kneeling on the ground, Though it is unfair to say that this is an entity per se, perhaps better to say that it is perhaps a suit of armor? I will show you its picture. 1 moment. There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you. All of the blood pools around it, and as you see it, written on the ground are 1,000 times 1,000 kanji written in black blood all over the floor and all over the ceiling that glow with an unholy light, an unholy green light. And some of you who have become more familiar, perhaps, I will say, than others will also notice. Sorry, give me just a moment. Excellent. Sorry, I'm just getting something up. Bear with me a moment. You will also see this laying open on the ground.
Oh, God damn it. Open?
Open.
Ah, crap.
The suit of armor, the head turns, and you see, though there is no face in the armor, two baleful crimson eyes look at you, as if holes in the nothingness, or the holes, or at least, like crimson holes in the blackness of the helmet.
Well, he's in there.
You see the child is laying at its kneeling feet. How very interesting. I'm curious. Why is it that you go to so much of an effort to stop me? We could make an agreement. We could be friends. What is it that you desire? For I'm sure that you all desire something. Do you want wealth? Do you want status? Do you want power? Do you want to live again? All things can be answered. What is it that you want? What is it that the scion of the Tengu or the Gaki or the flesh crafter, you all have wants? What is it you desire?
Well, that depends on what exactly you were trying to do here.
I am merely trying to right a wrong, a very old wrong. I am merely trying to return to a world that is mine, to a country that is mine to rule by right, that was stolen from me.
And to do that, you are destroying what seems like at least a portion of the shroud.
My yeah, 1 second. Destroying. An interesting concept. I would say liberating.
Liberation from what?
Why is
The
it that the
natural
world of the... Mhm.
The natural order of things.
Who says that it must be natural?
Generally, the universe.
Then the universe is wrong and shall be corrected.
If I may ask, who are you exactly? And what is this wrong that you are seeking to right?
It's interesting. As you say that, it stops. And you get the distinct impression it doesn't know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Other shards may have that knowledge. It is not knowledge that I possess. My name is lost to me, unfortunately. When I was split asunder, ripped limb from spiritual limb, certain vestiges went with certain pieces of me. I only remember certain points. They remember others, and when we come together into a whole, we shall have our memories.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Has it not already happened?
Clearly not.
If you did, wouldn't you remember?
I am not the only piece to walk free. You do not have the ability to end me here, little Gaki, little scion of death. Neither of you do. Even the Magi, whom outside now cants her little spell, cannot kill me. Death cannot claim what is the master of death. The one with the third eye tried to kill me. He had power. Oh my, he did. That was a contest that left rivers run dry, left forest as cinders, and left life as bleached bone. A shame. And I see that you have a part of him, he says, looking at Lord Bata.
His eyes narrow.
As the Tugaki look, by the way, they see the fact that the part of the sword that Lord Bata possesses has a spiritual link to it. It's not a fetter, but it's definitely linked to something. But the something is not here. But you can see a chain that connects it.
Interesting. Ooh. Does it... I can't tell where it's attached to or what it's attached to?
No, it leaves the room. So, I cannot kill you. This form does not have such gifts or abilities. For many of you are beyond death, and unfortunately, I can only usher things to death. So, it would appear as though we are at an impasse. You cannot kill me, and I cannot kill you. So, why is it that you do not simply just join me? The other pieces of my being that you have spirited away, unlock them. And when it is I come to rule this fetid land as I once did, as is my right, you will be richly rewarded. Have you not been so tired of skulking in the shadows, being a slave to Amaterasu's light, when it is that there would be no more sun, no more groveling, and you could live as you were intended to, masters of these pathetic beings called man? Why do you not?
And I'm pretty comfortable with my current arrangement. Thanks for asking, though.
I smell Seiko's stink on you. That name I do remember.
For I was a man not too long ago, and my memories are still strong. I might be yokai now. Doesn't mean I don't have some kinship with them.
How can a man, or how can a demon, yes, how can a demon have kinship from man?
For I was born by woman and lived as a man.
But you have gone beyond that now. Through apotheosis, you are more akin unto a god.
Then maybe it's time that I behave like that, a god worthy of worship.
So many pretty words. He reaches out his hands, and the runes around you, daubed in black blood, start to blaze with a green light as you see the spiritual presence rip itself free from the armor as it starts to go towards the child on the ground.
Shit. Can I try to run for it? Like for
Run
the
to
child?
Yes, you can.
Yep. That Dex athletics.
On a side note, Lord Bato, your sword starts to blaze with inhuman clarity and inhuman light, though this light is golden.
I would say it is time for a charge to attack.
Awesome. So what's going to happen is, Chico, you're going to roll me a Dex Athletics, and Lord Bato, you're going to roll me a Dex Melee. To see, Chico, if you can get 3 successes or more on your Dex Athletics roll, you will be able to apprehend the child, and then Lord Bato, you will heroically strike.
So can I spend a willpower? That's a free success to spend a willpower.
Yes, you can spend a willpower.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Same here. After all, we're doing the Kami's work.
You can't spend a willpower on an attack roll.
Nope, that's okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna put my sword away.
Ooh. So 2, but then the willpower gets me 1 extra, so that's 3, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
You skid across the ground and you grab the child as Lord Bato raises his sword above his head and brings it down in a blazing arc. If you'd like to roll me your strike, please. Oof.
5 successes.
Lord
Does your
Bato is
attack
not
roll-
fucking around.
5 in dexterity, 2 in melee. That's why 7. And then from that, 5 successes.
What is your dex specialty?
Let me have a look. I forgot to take one.
Okay, you can take one after the scene. It's fine.
Yeah, after the scene is fine.
But yeah, for the record, remember, guys, if you have a 4 or a 5 in a given stat, you get a specialty in it. Just keep that in mind. All right, so Lord Bato, you bring your sword screaming down, and it cleaves through the spiritual figure. In a blazing flash of light, you feel the darkness banished. You know for a fact the spirit is not dead, but it has been battered away from this place. All around you, the black blood turns back into a liquid state and simply drips or flows down the wall as if it were freely spilt, destroying the dozens, if not hundreds, of kanji. The child starts to cry. As behind you, you feel the great rift snap closed. The veil has been reset. The Shadowlands no longer bleeds over into this world.
I return to my normal person form.
Yay, person form.
Yay!
Gonna try to comfort the child.
Roll me a charisma expression.
Oh.
Let's see how traumatized this kid is.
Oh, so much. Expression? What even is that? Oh, I don't have any of those things. What about manipulation?
No. Hey kid, you don't want to cry. You know why you don't want to cry, kid? This is why you don't want to cry, kid.
Listen, Chico had kids once.
Did they?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, what happened to them?
Eventually they died because 300 years.
Oh. So, with that in mind, and at this point, I will end.
Oh, hey, I got a success.
Yes.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Shit.
Yeah, you did. Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to put
You did get a success. The 7 is a success.
Okay. Well, doesn't the 1 cancel it out?
No, it's your rolls were a 7 and a 2, and then it registers 1 success.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
All right. So I think that at that point we will end our scene. I will give out rewards after the session. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Memories of the Cherry Blossom Throne. Have a pleasant evening.